I guess I'll see you once we get there. And I said, yeah, I'll see you. I'm getting ready to leave the house in a few minutes. Well, I jump on the turnpike headed north, and about 15, 20 minutes in, I see Irwin on the road. Well, I'm a big prankster, so I called him up. I said, hey, where are you at? He's like, yeah, I'm on the turnpike headed north. I said, well, what time did you leave again? He said, 20, 30 minutes ago. I said, well, you should be around mile marker 289. He says, dude, as soon as you said that, I literally passed the sign. And I was like, well, that's easy math. If you left at this time, if you're traveling at an average miles per hour that makes sense. So I keep him on the phone. For the next 45 minutes, he has no clue that I'm riding with him the whole way. And we get about 5, 10 minutes from the destination, and I said, it's about time for the big reveal. And so I get in front of him, and I slow down just a little bit, forcing him to move to the right lane. And right as he's coming up next to me, he looks over, he says, wait a second, where are you? And I had the window rolled down. I said, dude, I've been with you this whole time. I've been with you this whole time. Friends, I don't know where you are on this journey of growing in love, but we have to understand, we have to embrace the fact that God is with us the whole time. Long before we are aware of it, God is speaking into our lives, moving with us in and through our lives as we grow in grace and grow in love. God is with you this whole time. You see, God has been and is with us on this journey of life and faith, causing us, yes, to receive sight and revelation and growth and a capacity to love. You see, that's exactly what we need, God's grace to stretch us and to challenge us and to grow us. And that's exactly what the very first disciples needed as well. You see, they don't know yet what it means to truly follow Jesus and live this life of love. What it means to have the status of disciple of Jesus. They don't know what it means to have and to use the power of God. Instead, they believe that status and power is selfishly for them. Now, the passage doesn't explicitly say what they were arguing about. What we know is they had argued about who was the greatest. Now, Mark 10, 35 and 37 gives us a little hint. James and John, the sons of Zebedee, let one of us sit at your right hand and the other at your left in your glory. Then verse 41 says, when the 10 heard this, they began to be angry with James and John. You see, the disciples' obsession with status and power disappoints Jesus. And so when they came to Capernaum, Jesus brings up the topic again and says, what were you arguing about on the road? Well, it says disciples keep quiet, probably because he already knows the answer. Well, how many of us would keep quiet as well? You see, this silence among the disciples doesn't remain, however. You see, we have to remind ourselves that while the gospel writer Mark is retelling what Jesus asked the disciples, Mark is also allowing Jesus to ask us the question this morning. You see, the silence doesn't last because arguments like these original disciples, these arguments have persisted among disciples of Jesus since then, from small and large churches to amongst seminary professors, and yes, to denominations, and even within the United Methodist Church. You see, sometimes we assume that the disciples, or as they're standing